Outage as police told to fine 10,000 officers for Trump visit as UK crimewave soars. A senior member of the Police Federation yesterday warned that rest days owed to thousands of officers will have to be cancelled. Colleagues not involved in the massive security operation will have to work punishing shifts lasting at least 12 hours to maintain a service to the public. Up to 10,000 officers will be on duty to protect the president from mass protests and terror attacks at a time when budget cuts have drastically reduced police numbers. Next month's visit will involve thousands of specially trained riot police along with dozens of motorcycle outriders for the president's fleet of cars. A squad of sharpshooters from the counter-terrorism firearms unit will be drafted in even though the U.S. Secret Servicemen guarding Mr. Trump will carry guns. But while Mr. Trump and his entourage will get a 5-star service costing millions, victims of burglaries and other serious crimes are increasingly told, "We have no resources to investigate your crime." Simon Kempton of the Police Federation, which represents rank-and-file officers, said, "One of the most depressing aspects of being a police officer is apologizing to victims when we have let them down. In the past, if you had a burglary, it was treated as a high priority and you could expect to see a police officer within an hour. Now you may not see a police officer for days if at all. Police forces simply don't have the resources to provide the service the public demand and expect." The crisis was underlined yesterday by a national newspaper which revealed 3,000 districts in England and Wales where no burglaries were solved last year. Events like the presidential visit can only be policed properly by canceling officers' rest days. A full-time officer should have 8 or 9 days off every month, but there are now 22,000 fewer police on the streets than there were 8 years ago. One officer commented, "It makes us very angry that millions will be spent on the security operations surrounding the visit while we struggle with the consequences of years of budget cuts. Increased demand and decreased numbers means we cannot provide a proper service to the public." Earlier this month, Chief Inspector of Constabulary Sir Thomas Windsor said frontline police are in danger of being placed under undue strain. He warned, "If you stretch people to breaking point, they will break." Exhausted people who have not had a break from doing arduous work for a long time will not perform at their best. But Federation Deputy Treasurer Mr. Kempton said, "We passed breaking point some time ago." He added, "We will get to the stage where every single police force will have to cancel rest days. The big problem is the knock-on effect on officers and their families. This increases the stress on officers as they strive to balance work and home." Most of the bill for the president's visit, which has yet to be calculated, will be met through central funds. But forces are likely to have to pay for the extra overtime. Mr. Trump is due to arrive in Britain on July 12, possibly at Stansted Airport, Essex. He will be flown by helicopter to the U.S. Ambassador's residence in Regent's Park, central London, before travelling to Blenheim Palace, Oxfordshire, for dinner. The following day, he will have talks with Prime Minister Theresa May at Chequers in Buckinghamshire before a meeting with the Queen at Windsor Castle. He will finish his 3-day trip with a round of golf at Turnberry, the resort he owns in South Ayrshire. Demonstrations are being planned for central London to protest Mr. Trump's visit. The crisis in police numbers is seen as a major factor in the surge of violent crime hitting Britain. Latest figures show a 22% increase in knife crime and an 11% rise in gun crime. Crime statistics for 34,250 districts revealed 5,909 areas with more than 20 burglaries in 2017. No break-ins were solved in 3,105 of them. Manchester, Burnley, Bristol, North London and Leicester had some of the highest numbers of unsolved burglaries. "We are sending out a message to criminals that burglary is not a priority," said Elizabeth Yardley, professor of criminology at Birmingham City University. "It gives them a green light to commit crime, safe in the knowledge the chance of getting caught is minimal."